I feel like I ruined the previous session because I am an idiot. Glam, do you think I should go ahead and start reading, or should I wait for more people to show up? Oh, cool. I got a new subscriber. So, how was your day? I guess we'll just make small talk while waiting for people. You? I have subscribed. to the SpaceHey YouTube. Um, okay, well, my day wasn't that interesting. Mostly I worked, and then I tried to take my dogs to the neighborhood dog park, but there were other dogs in there already, and Wicket and Shirley are not friendly towards other dogs. Like, Shirley loves people regardless of who they are, but Wicket it is the opposite of that. So, had to come home. I made a big bowl of nachos for dinner. I put that on my Instagram with some help from my friend Aaron, who edited the photo. I wonder how I can see member list and friends to DM. Sorry, y'all. What that noise is. so far. Sorry, this isn't very entertaining. Currently, I'm working on recruiting people. Ash, how did you find cat in boxes emojis? I think it's too late to order Chinese food, though. At 10 o'clock, I think most places are rolling up a sidewalk. Okay, well, it's officially 11, so for all the latecomers, 11, I meant 10. Damn, Freudian slip. Yeah, but for all the latecomers, I'm sure this will get archived. Something like it will get archived. I don't think it'll be lost to the nether realm. Yes, Ashley, we have both types of both mandu and wontons. Okay, so Glamcat requested a set of poems by the one and only Johnny Cash. So I'll make that tonight's first piece of business. Poem number 1, Let's Put It to Music by Johnny Cash. How do you feel about me now that you've learned to know me? Why don't we both admit that something is happening and we would feel better if we just tell each other? No need to keep it to ourselves. Let's put it to music. Let's put it to music. Let's sing about it. laugh about it, clap our hands and shout about it. Let the whole world hear it in a sweet, sweet melody. Let's put it to music, you and me. Why didn't he put that to music? That sounds like a song he would read. Or read, he would sing. Oh, who messaged me on Discord? Hmm. Why is my Discord going off? But there's no. Oh, that was really heckin' weird. Alright, poem number 2. Don't make a movie about me. Well, Don't Make a Movie About Me by Johnny Cash. Christmas 1982. If anybody made a movie out of my life, I wouldn't like it, but I'd watch it twice. If they halfway tried to do it right, there'd be 40 screenwriters working day and night. They'd need a research team from Uncle Sam and go from David Allen Coe to Billy Graham. It would run 10 days in the final cut, and that would mean leaving out the gossip smut. And I do request, for my children's sake, don't ever let them do a new remake. The thing I'm saying is, don't you see? Don't make a movie about me, even for TV. Don't make a movie about me. Don't let 'em drag old Hickory Lake for my telephones and bottles and roller skates down 40 feet in the Cumberland mud. There's a rusty old gun that once shed blood out 100 yards from my lakeside house. Weighted down with a rock as a skirt and a blouse, a dozen pair of boots that made a dozen corns, trombones, trumpets, harmonicas, and horns, and the tapes that I threw from the lakeside door. Silverstein and Christofferson from years before. Everything has a story that should be let be, so don't make a movie about me. If they're hot on a book called Man in Black, tell them I've got the rights and won't give back. If you don't know my tune, you can't get it right. I don't talk about me in Man in White. Truth, said the master, cannot be hid, but he didn't say slap it in the face of my kids. A stone is a stone and forever a stone, but I'm part good and bad and then I'm gone. Johnny, that doesn't rhyme. What's wrong with you? Unless he meant it as a slant rhyme? There's no sin cleaner than the dirtiest, so there's a lot about me that I don't want missed. If it's days or years or whatever will be, don't make a movie about me. Oh, might as well face it, 'cause they will someday. So while I can, I've got a thing to say. I don't know anybody that I said I don't know, and there ain't anybody anywhere I owe. The IRS gets the lion's share, and what is left goes to my own named heirs. Don't let 'em make it in Hollywood. If they must, tell 'em Arkansas is where they should. Here's a hex on whoever makes it be, so don't make a movie about me. For love or money, don't make a movie about me. Okay, cool. That's the poetry section. I kind of feel like I should read some more of Eliot's poetry or some of Blush Puppy's poetry. Unless I can just save that for another day. Okay. I guess right now take a vote. Do y'all want to hear a chunk from Looking Forward, which is my first actual serious novel that I wrote like 10 years ago? Or do you want something the opposite of serious and the really super extra duper cringy Slayer story, number 2 in the series that I wrote when I was like 13? One for Looking Forward? Say 1 for Looking Forward and say 2 for Slayers. I'm gonna pull both up just in case. Close out Discord. That's only halfway. Blast. Okay, well, I pulled up Looking Forward, so I might as well do that one first. As great as it would be to read the whole thing, this one's really special to me. So I'm only going to read a chunk, and I might as well read the full chapter of what came from the original seed story that I called Looking Forward, Rain. So let's jump to chapter 2. Okay, so first, before I get going, a little bit of context. I'm going to write this out because I don't remember. Remark. Missy. Alright, so basically, the crux of looking forward is it's a project that I started the summer after I graduated from UMBC, and it was basically an attempt for me to confront what the future would bring. And it also sprang out of a lot of wish fulfillment because the main character, Henry, or Henry Lay, and he's wish fulfillment because at that time in my life, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job, and I didn't have a girlfriend. So I gave him all three of those things since he's based on me. The other four primary viewpoint characters are Mark and Missy Hemlock. They're a pair of twins. Zoe Keiko and Eduardo Farron, but everyone calls him Edo because he insists on it. And there are a couple other major characters, mainly River, Jenna, and Karen, but they're going to be out of focus for this chapter. So, Chapter 2, November 16th, 2011. Mark. Ugh, what a great day to pick Missy up from the train station, huh? It was pouring rain. One of those hailstorms Henry likes to talk about that happened during the summers here, except it wasn't summer. Typical Maryland weather, huh? Let's just hope it burns itself out soon. No such luck. Well, better get there before I'm late and she chews my head off for it. Let's just say my dear sweet twin sister is a tad bit on the impatient side. By the time I got there, I knew I was late. Sue me. My car's clock doesn't show for some reason, and I don't believe in wearing watches. What's to stop me from checking my phone? Of course, I'd have to leave it behind at the apartment. In my rush to get out the door, I almost left the keys to my midnight blue Acura behind, too. Her right eyelid was twitching. Whoops. Yep, figures. She was a teapot ready to boil over. Why'd she leave her umbrella in New York? Shouldn't she have been expecting this kind of weather? Her navy blue pea coat was getting soaked. Mark! She yelled. I somehow heard her through the howling winds. She flailed as though her pea coat was on fire. Not drenched. All of this just to get my attention. She looked like she was struggling not to topple over into the nearest convenient large puddle. I honked my horn and flashed my lights to let her know I'd seen her. As soon as I pulled up to the curb, she wrenched the passenger door open and huffed in. You're late, she snapped, crossing her arms and refusing to buckle up. And you're getting water all over the upholstery. I just had this replaced, I replied with a cheeky grin. Well, hello to you too, sis. Sigh. Why are you so serious? Why so serious? She didn't reply. Oh, words anyway. She turned to look me in the eye and punched me on the arm. She punched me on the arm she could reach. Hey! Ow! What did I do? I yelped. What happened to picking me up from the train station? I'm here, aren't I? Why didn't you answer my text? I left my phone at home. She huffed again. She buckled up and pushed her soggy hair away from her face. A likely story, she seethed. What are you going to do about your stuff? What? She asked with a blank look. You pretty much just got in and started yelling at me. Missy slapped a palm against her forehead. You're right. I'm sorry, she muttered, unbuckling and opening the door to retrieve her rolling suitcase. It had fallen into the same puddle she had managed to avoid earlier. Ah, great. Just my luck. Home, sis. I'll get it. She turned around. She turned around and rubbed her temples as if she had a migraine coming on. I unbuckled, got out of the car, and opened the trunk. Then I grabbed the suitcase and hoisted it before plunking it down as fast as I could. I didn't want my trunk turning into a frog pond. I closed the trunk and got back behind the wheel. So, how was your trip? Just get us out of here, she groaned. Hey, I don't remember writing some of this stuff the way that I did. It's been a while since I reread this. It's in serious need of editing and revision and having a second draft created. But it's a good snapshot of how far I've come in the last 10 years or so. When at last I had managed to get us safely to Missy's favorite bar, mine too, I was half expecting a big wooden boat to go floating by the front outer window. Luckily for us, Ye Old Tavern and Brewery wasn't too far from the train station. The words on the sign outside were spelled out in goofy jumbo pretzel font, bookended by smiling mugs of frosty beer. We got inside. The ceiling fans were spinning lazily as they always did, and the old jukebox was blaring Thin Lizzy's The Boys Are Back in Town again. I pointed Missy to a booth at the far end of the bar, close to where Walt, the bartender, could see us. There weren't too many other people in here right now. Either not enough people wanted to get out of the rain, or they didn't trust themselves enough to be drunk and on the road in this downpour. Hey, Walt, can I get 2 chestnut ales and 2 jumbo pretzels with the spicy deli mustard? You got it, buddy. Hey, is that a new girlfriend? He glanced over at Missy, who had sat down by now. She smiled and waved back. Come on, Walt. You know that's Missy. I know. I'm just joshing. 3 or 4 sketchy guys were sitting at the bar. They all had various beers or shots scattered near them and had looked up and around at the sound of Missy's name. All of them looked thoroughly hammered. Walt pretended not to notice, but I know he had. I tried to not let it bother me, at least at first. Walt uncapped 2 bottles of chestnut ale, his own personal brew that he bottled himself. Hey, Ollie, Walt hollered. How about getting me some of those big pretzels spread all up with the mustard? You got it, Walt. A shout came from the kitchen. Thanks, Walt, I said, before taking the beers to the booth and shooting a slight warning glance at the other guys sitting at the bar. This time, I couldn't tell if they noticed me. Missy arched and I wrote quirked, but that apparently isn't the right word. Mercy. Missy arched an eyebrow at me as I sat down and slid a beer towards her. What was that about? I didn't like the way those guys were looking at you, I answered. She tossed a napkin at me, rolling her eyes. Well, that was one sign her mood was improving, I guess. Yeah, sorry. Gotta take a sip of water. Ah! What the hell happened? Huh. There we go. I took a swig from the ale. Despite how chilled it was, the brew had a warming effect on you. As Missy was about to sip from hers, Ollie showed up with two large oval plates in hand, both containing a jumbo pretzel with a side of thick onion rings, along with those little black plastic cups of ketchup and mustard. Here you are. Ollie grinned as he set down the plates. Enjoy now, you two. He went back towards the bar to chat with Walt. Guess he was on break. So, how's New York? I asked. Missy looked up from dipping an onion ring into her ketchup. She popped it into her mouth and chewed before replying. It was fun. Got to see Jenna for a few days. Had to get some things I left behind, stuff like that. Jenna Franco was her old roommate at NYU. They'd met freshman year and stuck together ever since. Missy thought of her as the sister she never had. She wasn't even that close with Zoe, and Missy had known Zoe for about 2 years longer than Jenna. Hmm, that already sounds to me like a continuity error, but I'll go back and figure it out. Aren't you taking a semester off, though? I asked her. Yeah, I missed being at home. I missed you. I missed seeing everybody. Huh, that wasn't like her. Missy wasn't exactly the most sentimental type either. I broke off a chunk of pretzel and dipped it in the mustard. Then I popped it in my mouth before chewing slowly and swallowing. Then I talked again. Yeah, that was a run on sentence. Commas or not. So, why did you wait this long to go back and visit? Jenna really wanted to see me. Missy looked uncomfortable, like she was trying to avoid the question. I couldn't figure out why. Was there something she didn't want me to know? Maybe things had gone sour up north? We were as close as twins could be, for being brother and sister born 2 minutes apart, but ever since middle school, she had always wanted to get out of Big Brother's shadow and go her own way. I guess that's why she insisted on going to NYU while I was fine with UB. Hey, where did Nova go? Huh. Hey, babe. How about ditching this useless loser and get with us? One of the guys from the bar had stumbled over while we'd been lost in conversation. Me? A useless loser? At least I was still sober enough to stand. He had an overgrown mullet, 3 days unshaven facial growth, it looked more like some kind of fungus than an actual beard, and beady, bloodshot eyes. Why? So you and your friends can yark all over me? No thanks. Hey, that's not funny. Now I could hear the slurring in the guy's speech. Why I hadn't noticed before, I didn't know. Who's this guy anyway? He don't look so tough. When he leaned in closer to look me right in the eye, I caught a whiff of his breath. Damn, it smelled like he'd been drinking motor oil and not beer for however long he'd been in here. He wanted a staring contest. Look, man, why don't you fuck off and leave her with us, he said, going a bit cross-eyed. I laughed. You blinked. He looked confused. I chugged the rest of my beer. Why don't you go and gargle some mouthwash? Not that you'd need any more alcohol in your system. He laughed in my face. Oh, what you just said. But I don't like it much. Missy put a hand on my arm as I started to get up. Mark, don't. He's just being an ass. He squinted at her like he couldn't see her, Then he slapped her across the face. Should go back and edit it so it's not. Well. She recoiled in shock, putting a hand to her lip. As he pulled his arm back again, I grabbed it and twisted it back behind him in a hammerlock, slamming him face first into the table by the back of his head, leaving a splat of blood on the table. Guess I broke his nose. Maybe passively watching wrestling with Henry helped out for once. Put another hand on my sister, and I'll shove it so far down your throat you can scratch your ass from the inside. Break it up, you two, Walt said, coming over to us with Ollie behind him. Or take it outside. I don't want any trouble in here. I think it's time you and your pals paid your tab, Ollie said, grabbing the drunken asshole by the shoulder and marching him back to the bar. His buddies all got up and shot me dirty looks, but Walt pointed to the door. You boys, get the hell out, or I'm calling the cops. Grumbling, they staggered out. As they did, Missy turned around to face me, her hands on her hips, her swollen lip forgotten. What the hell, Mark? What? You think I'd let him hit you and just pretend it didn't happen? What kind of brother would I be if I didn't protect you? You think I can't protect myself? Without meaning to, I let out a quick laugh, which only made Missy's expression darken. Don't you remember in second grade when Eddie Teller grabbed your teddy bear at recess and ripped its arms off? He was laughing at you while you cried. He kept saying, Gummy? Gummy bear? What kind of name is that for a teddy bear? Why do you even have this stupid thing with you at school anyway? Loser dummy. When I heard that, I ran over and broke his nose with one punch. Then he was crying. That 2 week suspension was worth it, I explained before she exploded. Yeah, she smiled a little bit. My mom and dad grounded you for a month. Still, you can't always solve problems with violence, right, Mark? Well, yeah, but if anyone ever hurts my sister, I hurt them back. She rolled her eyes at me. You're silly. Noble, but silly. Come on, I think it's past time I got out of here. On our way out, I left something extra for Walt, who did own the place. Sorry about that, man. He nodded. You kids just trying to stay out of trouble now, you hear? So the next chapter switches to Missy's point of view, but I am going to stop reading there because the chapter ended. Damn it, I'm out of water. You ought to be.
Down.
Oh, hi. Hi. Not being too loud anymore.
No.
How are the beans coming along?
Charging. Oh, was it? Cool.
Shit.
I forgot all about it.
I'm not doing my stream.
We'll finish and let me know when you're done.
Okay, shouldn't be too long. I'm gonna do one more story.
Okay. Quick it down.
I thought I already saved this as a Google Doc. What the hell? Alright, so as far as I can tell, the last time I edited Slayers 2 was December 15th, 2005. I saved it as a Google Doc before, I thought, but maybe I was wrong. Anyways, let's hop to it. I didn't mean to do that, but whatever. Slayers 2, Dead in a Minute, written and directed by me. Background. It's been a few years since the Slayers repelled the cold invasion. The Slayers have moved on to high school. It's their sophomore year, but a new threat has descended on peaceful Oak Haven Falls, Maryland. This quiet little city is the mirror image of Gaithersburg, something not explained in the cold invasion. Vampires have come to town and are led by an evil new Prince of Darkness. They look to take Oak Haven in an iron grip, and then the world. Like any story worth its weight in words, this is about a girl. Once again, it's about Amanda Summers. Oh boy. For the rest of this, I'm switching to the characters' code names because otherwise it's going to make my head hurt. But she's tired of being captured all the time. The new Prince Demon. Oh god. What the hell was wrong with me when I was 13? I couldn't come up with any better names. Has set his crimson eye on her, and if he gets his way, the Slayers will be shattered forever, as well as the entire world. Part 1, The Arrival. Nick Payne. I'm just gonna call him Osric. Osric gets to Oak Haven High when his beaver goes. Osric, what is it? Guider, Nick, Osric. Be careful. Vampires have shown up around town. What? I thought those bloodsuckers only came out at night. Not anymore, they're not. Stay frosty. That's a good joke. You know what I went through 3 years ago. Yeah, this whole thing is a fucking ramshackle mess. Yeah, I know. You might want to tell Trevor out. Okay, this is gonna get really confusing. You might want to tell Locke, Jake, Alan, and Cassandra about this. Gotcha, that shouldn't be a problem. Good. Guide her out. Locke yells across the sidewalk to... Alright, so I'm not talking about Osric. I guess I'm talking about Brandon. Alright, this is a fucking mistake. I'm going to come back and read it again after I edit it because this is just a fucking train wreck. So, if anyone actually wants to read this travesty, I will send you the document once I've cleaned it up. But this is the reason why I initiated the Resurrection Project. Oh dear Lord. I think in order for this to work, I have to be completely over the top about it. I know I said I would unleash the cringe, but yeah. Yikes. Sorry everyone, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. But I'll still be online on SpaceHey and whatnot until I go to sleep. So I plan on doing these streams every 2 weeks, probably on the weekend. Hopefully these will actually get scripted out. Because Ash said they're boring, and well, I'll listen to her.